Protesters gather outside Detroit's Fox Theatre. Some were Trump supporters, but the majority carried messages they hoped that Democratic candidates would hear as the second round of the Democratic primary debates took place. If any of the candidates wanted a closer inspection of how Michigan voters are feeling, they did not have far to travel. This is the General Motors Warren transmission plant, which opened in 1941, nearly 80 years ago. It closes Friday. Some workers have been moved to other plants. Others have been less fortunate.
Friday is the last day that we'll be walking through those doors across the street. Some of my membership, their last day was last Friday. It was very sobering and heartbreaking. People that I've worked with for over 30 years. Excuse me.
The auto industry remains key for Michigan. It still produces more cars and trucks than any other US state, but the industry as a whole faces significant challenges. Auto manufacturers are preparing for a shift towards electrified and autonomous vehicles and the emergence of new competitors. But the industry also faces other pressures, not least the tariffs that have been imposed during the trade dispute between the United States and China.
The auto industry is reeling, honestly, from tariffs and the uncertainty around trade. There's certainly a possibility that jobs could be affected. The automakers will have to adjust somehow.
The issue of tariffs appears to be a key concern for Michigan voters. That point was underlined by a recent poll carried out by the Detroit Regional Chamber.
There was a plurality of Michiganders who said that tariffs were hurting the automotive industry, that were hurting our agricultural industry, which is also vitally important in this state. But even more importantly, there was a plurality of Michiganders who said that tariffs were hurting them.
Tensions were running high outside the Fox Theatre, with locals determined to get their voices heard.
People, what do we do? Stand up, fight back!
The question, though, is whether the politicians will hear them. Dan Williams, CGTN, Detroit.